Hello, my name is Olivia DiNardo, and I am a psychology student at the University of Nebraska. My study focuses on understanding behavior, mental health, and how they intersect with real-world challenges, particularly in athletics. Today, I will be discussing a fascinating yet challenging case involving a University of Nebraska softball player who suffers from a severe moth phobia. Moths are nocturnal insects naturally drawn to light. And this behavior can trigger significant anxiety during night games where stadium lights attract them in large numbers. This presentation will explore the biology of moths, their behavior, and how such a seemingly small factor can have real psychological and anxiety performance impact on athletes. Moths belong to the order Lepidoptera. Specifically, moths are known as noctuides or commonly as owlet moths, closely related to butterflies and are primarily nocturnal. They navigate using light sources, a behavior known as positive phototaxis, meaning they are instructively drawn to artificial lights. Noctuidae moths undergo complete metamorphosis, which consists of the four life stages: egg, larva, pupal, and adult. This behavior comes especially prominent in sports settings where bright stadium lights are essential for nighttime play. Moths mistake the artificial light for natural navigation cues, which is why they swarm areas like softball fields. In this case, a player's moth phobia, known scientifically as mothophobia, creates a significant mental barrier during night games as the presented moth triggers overwhelming anxiety. This is a moth on my screen right here. You can tell by the wings and the antennas it has, and often by the color. So the next part is as a psychology student, I find this case highlights the profound effects anxiety can have on athletic performance. A phobia is an irrational but deeply rooted fear that activates the fight or flight responses in our bodies. When the player sees moths during a game, her brain perceives them as a threat. Even though moths are harmless, this triggers the release of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, causing increased heart rate, hypervigilance, difficulty concentrating, and reduced motor function. For athletes, this can be devastating. Softball requires split-second decisions and physical precision. Anxiety disrupts, slows down timing and can lead to mistakes on the field, like drop balls, missed swings, and errors. The player's fear of moth has turned night games into a psychological battle instead of focusing on her performance. She's consumed by the fear of encountering a moth. This heightens her stress levels, negatively impacting her confidence and overall ability to play. This scenario provides a clear intersection between psychology and sports performance. As psychologists, we have tools to address phobias and get athletes regaining control. One tool, such as cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, works by helping individuals recognize and reframe irrational thoughts, like moths will hurt me, and replace them with rational ones. Another effective method is systematic desensitization, a form of gradual exposure therapy. For instance, the player might start by viewing images of moths, then proceed to controlled real-life encounters with moths in a safe settings. Over time, this reduces her fear response, allowing her to manage the anxiety effectively. Additionally, practicing mindfulness and relaxing techniques before games, such as deep breathing or visualization, can help athletes stay focused and calm under pressure, even if moths are present. To conclude, moths are naturally attracted to light, a behavior rooted in their biology, which can have significant psychological impacts for athletes like this softball player. The player's fear of moths triggers anxiety, disrupting her focus and impairing her performance during night games. This case highlights the critical role psychologists play in addressing mental barriers in sports. By using techniques like CBT, exposure therapy, and mindfulness, we can help athletes manage their fears, reduce anxiety, and perform at their best. This project has allowed me to connect insect behavior with my field of psychology, demonstrating the importance of mental health support in athletics. As a future psychologist, I aim to apply these tools to help athletes overcome challenges like this and succeed in their sport. Working on this project has deepened my understanding of how phobias and anxiety affect real people in performance settings. I've learned that even some as small as a moth can create a major challenge for an athlete. This has reinforced my desire to use psychological strategies to help athletes manage anxiety, overcome fears, and reach their full potential. Thank you for listening.